I learned something important about myself during Carnival. I'm not independent. I'm just temporarily separated from my friends. Because the second I lose my group in a crowd, my personality disappears with them. I don't become brave. I don't become resourceful. I become a confused little background character in my own life. This happened on one of those perfect Carnival days where everything is loud, bright, and slightly unreal. The streets are packed, the music is bouncing off buildings, and everyone looks like they planned their outfit weeks ago. I did not. I showed up in something that technically counts as a costume if you squint and respect my effort. And I was with a group of friends, which is the only reason I was functioning. In a big crowd, a group is not just a group. A group is a life raft. A group is your map. A group is the only proof you belong there, and you're not just a random guy wandering through other people's fun. Anyway, we're in the middle of this block party, moving like a little unit. People are dancing, vendors are shouting, and there's glitter in the air like the city is shedding. We've got one designated meeting spot, which is always a joke. You know how groups pick meeting spots? It's never a real landmark. It's always something like, by the pole. Which pole? There are a million poles. But we all nod like, yeah, the pole, obviously. So we're vibing, and at some point, my brain makes a fatal decision. I think I'm just gonna go grab water. Just water. Simple, harmless. A tiny mission. I tell my friends, stay here. I'll be right back. And they go, yeah. That's the moment. That's when the universe starts rubbing its hands together. Oh, be right back is not a statement. It's a curse. I squeeze through the crowd toward a vendor. And this is where the first problem happens. Moving through a carnival crowd is not walking. It's negotiating. It's shoulder-to-shoulder diplomacy. You saying sorry 100 times while still accidentally stepping on someone's foot. I finally get to the vendor, buy water, and I turn around, and my friends are gone. Not a little farther, not around the corner, gone. The space where they were is filled with new people. Like the crowd did a quick software update, and I stand there for a second, frozen, holding my water like an idiot, trying to convince myself this is normal. Because my brain doesn't want to accept it right away. It's like they're probably right there, behind that guy. So I start scanning the crowd. You know that desperate scanning where you're trying to find the exact hair color or sunglasses shape of your friend? Except everyone at Carnival has the same hair. Everyone has the same sunglasses. Everyone is wearing glitter and joy and confusion. So now I'm doing that thing where you rotate slowly in a circle, pretending you're enjoying the view, but really you're panicking. I do one full 360. Nothing. I do another half turn, faster. Still nothing. And this is where my brain shifts into survival mode. Because losing your friends at Carnival is not like losing them at the mall. At the mall, you can be like, I'll meet you by the food court. At Carnival, there is no food court. There is only chaos. I take out my phone. Of course, I have bad service. Because the one thing Carnival guarantees is that your phone will stop working the second you need it. So I try to send a message. Where are you guys? 8. Doesn't send. 8. Just sits there, loading, like my phone is also confused. I try calling. It rings once, then drops. I try again. Nothing. Now I'm standing there staring at my screen like it personally betrayed me. And I'm also painfully aware that I'm alone. Like physically alone in a sea of people. Which is such a weird feeling because it's not lonely in a sad way. It's lonely in a I am an exposed animal way. So I decide to act casual, okay? That's what shame makes you do. I'm like, okay, don't look lost. Don't look like you're about to cry. Just like you meant to be here. So I put on my most relaxed face. And then I start walking in a direction. Not a real direction. Just a direction that makes it look like I have a plan. And now I've become an NPC. I'm weaving through the crowd with no purpose, doing little micro stops like I'm waiting for something, nodding to the music, pretending I'm not internally screaming. I walk toward our meeting spot. The pole, which is hilarious because now I realize I don't even remember which pole it was. I just remember we said the pole, so I end up standing near a random pole like it's my job, and I'm waiting. Okay. And I'm trying to look normal, but I'm also scanning faces like a surveillance camera. 10 minutes pass. No friends. I start thinking, okay, maybe they moved to another street. But the thing about Carnival is every street looks the same once you're stressed. It's just crowds, music, and bright outfits. There's no clear orientation, so I walk to the edge of the block, trying to get a higher view like I'm in a nature documentary. And I see more people, just endless people. My friends could be anywhere in this. Now the panic becomes physical. My chest feels tight. My mouth is dry. My ears are ringing from the music. And I'm also doing mental math like, if I never find them again, do I just go home? Do I become a solo Carnival person? Is that allowed? I don't know how to do Carnival alone. Carnival alone feels like showing up to a party where you don't know anyone and everyone is dancing like they're in a movie. So I text again. This time it sends, but only one friend replies. And the reply is the most useless thing a human can send in this situation. I'm here. Here? Where is here? Here is not a location. Here is a feeling. So I respond, where's here? No answer. Because, of course. Now I'm speed walking through the crowd, following random clues like a detective with no case. I look for a friend's hat. I look for a specific shirt. I look for anything. And the worst part is, every time I think I see them, it's not them. You know that micro heartbreak? Your brain goes, that's them. And then you get closer and it's a stranger. And you have to recover your face quickly so you don't look insane. At one point, I fully stared at a guy for 3 seconds because I thought he was my friend. And he stared back like, do I know you? And I had to do the classic, oh sorry, thought you were someone else smile, which never feels normal. Anyway, after what feels like an hour, but is probably 12 minutes, I start considering my last resort, the voice note. Voice notes feel too intimate, but desperation changes you. So I send one, trying to sound chill, like a guy who is totally fine. and my voice comes out higher than normal because my body is in panic. I'm like, "Hi, where are you guys?" Which is the exact tone of someone who is not okay. Then I decide, all right, I'm gonna stand still, because the worst thing you can do in a crowd is roam with no anchor. You'll just get more lost. So I pick a new landmark. A street vendor with a bright umbrella. I stand there like it's a checkpoint in a video game, and I wait. And while I'm waiting, I realize something kind of sad and funny. I'm not scared of being alone. I'm scared of looking alone. Because being alone in a crowd makes you feel like everyone can tell you don't have a place. Like you're a person without a storyline. And that's such a young adult fear, honestly. Not am I okay, but do I look okay? So I'm standing there, trying to look like I'm just waiting for someone on purpose, and I'm watching other groups pass by. And I keep thinking, how do people do this? How do people just exist confidently? Then, finally, I get another message. Where by the other pole? The other pole. I almost laughed, 'cause now I'm like, okay, so we're still using pole-based navigation. Great, but I asked them to send a photo, and they do. And in the photo, I see something I recognize. A big banner on a building behind them, so I start moving toward that. I'm weaving through people, squeezing between groups, apologizing, trying not to spill my water on strangers. And then I see them, my friends, standing there like they never disappeared, like they didn't delete me from the group chat of reality. And I get this wave of relief that is way too intense for a normal situation. Like I'm reuniting with family after a war. I walk up to them trying to play it cool, because I can't show how panicked I was. That would ruin my image, so I'm like, "Oh, there you are." And they're like, "Dude, where did you go?" And I'm thinking, where did I go? Where did you go? But I don't say that because I'm trying to keep peace. Instead, I say something weak like, "Yeah, I got water." And they go, "Oh," and just like that, it's over. They move on. But I'm still emotionally recovering. And that's the funniest part. In a group, getting separated for 10 minutes is a nothing event. For the person who got lost, it's a full psychological thriller. And later, when we're all home, my friends are like, "That was funny." And I'm like, "Funny? I saw my entire life flash before my eyes near a pole." But the ending is honestly kind of sweet. Because losing them reminded me how much I rely on the group to feel grounded. Not in a needy way, in a human way. We all pretend we're super independent adults, but put us in a giant crowd with bad service and we turn into little kids again, just trying to find our people. And that's not pathetic. That's kind of the point. If you've ever lost your friends in a crowd and had to pretend you weren't panicking, drop your story in the comments. Especially if your meeting spot was something useless like the pole, I need to know. I'm not the only person navigating life with imaginary landmarks.